Oh, hey, welcome to J-RodTV. I'm Jared. I'm glad you tuned in. Let me show you what I'm working on. Working on this 85 C10, doing a bunch of stuff for the bumpers. Let me get you in here and show you what I've been doing. So, I had stripped all the bumpers and everything off, and so I took the bumper, cleaned the outside, and then I painted the inside black. It was, it'd gotten kind of rusty and everything. So I wanted all that to look clean once it goes back on the truck. And then on this side, I've got the rear bumper. And so I'm going to show you a little bit about what I'm doing here. Let me get this kind of lowered so you can see kind of what's going on. Sorry, my camera skills and microphone skills and all that still learning. So anyway, the bumper's got lots of, it's just dirty, it's old, it's got some rust spots that you can see. I'll get you in here where you can see a little closer. You see it's got rust spots there, it's got rust spots there, it's got a rust spot there, just where the chrome's flaking off. I have painted the black part there that you can see. But the goal is, I just want to make it look a little bit better than it does. All this was bent up. It had a lot of extra. It had another hitch area here that I ground off, cut off with a plasma cutter at my buddy's house, and so I need to clean all of these areas. And just a tip, for those of you that may be learning, you can use steel wool. It makes a big difference in getting this stuff off, and I'll show you. So like, this is this side, it's just nasty, kind of spot rusty, and I'll show you. It doesn't take a lot of work. Now, we're not going to win any car shows, as they say, as Derek Berry on Vice Grip Garage says. We're not trying to make a show car here. We're just trying to make this better. So if you stumble out of bingo, as he says, 20 feet away, 20 yards away, you'll think, oh, wow, that looks cool. So that's the plan. And just getting you to kind of see what we're doing. And the plan is on those rusty spots, I'm going to try to just kind of use some silver paint where it's just not blaring at you so bad. And I'll use like a little brush and we'll touch it up. Yeah, I know it's lipstick on a pig, but the goal would be that on this particular bumper that it'll eventually go away, and I'll put like a regular old bumper, not a step bumper, but like a newer Blazer type bumper or something like that, and it'll look way better, cleaner, because I'm not planning on towing anything with the pickup. But if I can make this one look halfway decent, then why not, right? I mean, I can't afford it. I tell you guys I'm on a budget, and I use my to-do list, and one of my to-do list was straighten and clean the bumpers. Well, guess what? I've straightened this one as much as I can. That bumpers, they just don't really come back. I've cleaned that one, and I've painted the inside of that black one over there. The inside of it, it's chrome on the outside. The front bumper is a lot better than the back, but it's got a couple of dents, but there's nothing I can really do about that. So I just keep working on it, make it look as good as I can, and when the time's right and I have more money, I'll do more work. I'll get something nicer. But budget's a budget, and like I've said all along, use what you got. You can't just throw everything away. You still got to use stuff. You got to make things work. You got to make it look better with what you got, because you can't afford to go buy brand new bumpers for $300 a piece. It's just not going to happen. if you're on a budget like me. Will it be really great? No. Will it be decent? Absolutely. So I'm going to keep scrubbing on these bumpers, and I'll get you back in here and show you like when I get to the painting part of trying to touch it up, make it look a little better. So steel wool, you want 4/0, 4 zeros. You can buy it at Walmart. It's cheap, it's inexpensive. You can use it on any chrome wheel, anything that's chrome. You can use it. It won't scratch it. It'll just get rid of the surface rust and bring some shine. Now you do want to use some chrome polish and stuff like that when you get to the final stage, but I'm just cleaning it up to do the prep. I want to get you in here and show you a little something, how well this steel wool, this 4/0 steel wool works. We'll try to get where you can see. There is a rust stain right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. And I want to show you how well this stuff actually works. I'm going to try to set this where you can maybe see it. Not sure it will, but we'll see. Okay, maybe you can see it. Yeah, you can see that little rust stain right there. 4/0 steel wool. If you just keep working it, those rust stains on any chrome, I'm talking about like, I'm not talking about being rusted through like right there or scratched all the way through, but even on those scratches, if you'll notice, they're not near as prominent once you get through with the steel wool. But that rust stain's just about gone, got a little bit more. Just want you to be able to see how well the 4/0 works. All right. So let me get in there. You see how much difference that made? There was a big rust stain and ran down from that light that used to be there. And it's gone now. And even like I said, those scratches don't look near as bad. Like, see, I worked those scratches a little bit, but then I haven't touched those. And so even though it's got a lot of red rust, let me kind of sand it a little, or use this 4/0 steel wool, and I'll show you it's not near as bad. It gets rid of that really orangey rust color. So you see how much better that looks without the orangey rust color. Again, it's not perfect, but it makes a difference. So use that steel wool and elbow grease, and it'll make a big difference. All right, I told you I would check back in on what I was doing. And so I've got some metallic Rust-Oleum spray paint. I've got this rust hold here. I've got one on this side, and then I've got some around this old light hole. What I'm going to do is spray some in a cup and use a little brush and paint it. So first off, I'm going to put on a glove because when I spray this paint, it's going to go all over my hands. And I just would rather not have paint all over my hands. I've got to go work a homecoming ball game tonight, of all things. So my son's in the band, so we help with the concession stand from time to time. Well, that glove's no good. So let's try this one.
Do you ever struggle with rubber gloves?
When you got big hands, that's what happens. As Vice Grip Garage would say, Moses sandals cannot get these things on. So, probably should have got some bigger gloves, but it'll be all right for what I'm doing anyway. All right, I've already shaken up the paint. We'll walk over here. All right, so just sprayed it in the cup. I'm going to start on this side and work my way across. So, load up my brush, and then I'll just start painting. You know, sometimes we put a little lipstick on a pig, like what I'm doing here. And we try to look like maybe we're something that we're not. Put on mask, you know, pretend to be something we're not. Try to keep up with the Joneses, whatever it may be. But I want to tell you that in life, we can put on all sorts of masks. We can pretend. But if you're a believer like I am, and you read God's Word, you read in Psalms, and I'll find the reference for you and put it on the screen, but it says nothing can be hidden from God. No matter how hard we try, no matter how, you know, much I want to hide this rust that's on this bumper, it can always be seen. You can always see where I touched it up, that kind of thing. But it just won't show up quite as bad. But when it comes to God, He sees it all. It's even darkness is like light to Him. That's literally what the scriptures say. And so, though you may think you can get away with things in life, I want you to know God sees it all. And He's the only one that really matters, because it tells us in His Word that we will all stand before Him one day. We will all stand before God and give an account for every idle word, every action, everything. That's both the believer, those that have trusted in Jesus Christ, and the unbeliever, those that reject Jesus. So, if you're a believer, just remember, God knows. And if you don't know Jesus, God knows you too. He knows you from your mother's womb, even before you were a thought. He knew who you were. And the awesome thing is, He loves us. He gave us a way to have salvation, so that all those bad things we do can be forgiven. And then our lives can begin to change when we repent and trust in Jesus. There's your biblical thought for today. But back to the bumper. This silver's working good. Yeah, it's silver. I mean, you know, it's paint. But I will tell you, sure looks better than the big rusty spot. So I'll probably put 2 coats on this. I don't don't know if you can see that one, but you'll really be able to see this one when I start brushing it on. So see, it's just a little paint in the brush, and I'm just dabbing it on. It's kind of hot today. You know, I'm trying to get all of this done. I'm trying to get the outside cleared and get the patina all locked in. And while I'm doing that, I'm trying to do the bumpers, and so that when it all goes back together, it'll look good. It'll be, you know, as good as it's going to be. And you see how much better that looks? Now I'm up close, but when you, as Derek says, stumble out of bingo, I don't bingo. When you stumble out of the store, you ran to Walmart to get some groceries, or you gone out to dinner in your hot rod, somebody will look across the parking lot and go, wow, that looks good. And they won't see those big dark spots showing up. Now I can always go back, because the paint's not going to want to stick to the chrome. Just doesn't like to do that. So I can go back with that steel wool that I've been using, and I can clean the edges of this up some so that it looks a little better, a little cleaner, you know. And so what you think? Yeah, I know it's not like bright chrome or nothing, but like I said, I think it's better. I'm gonna put one more coat on it, and then I'll get you in here and show you. I hope this mic's working out good for you, that you can hear better. Most of the videos you'll see in this series will have this microphone. There might be one or two that I end up forgetting to put it on or something like that, because it's still new to me, still learning. I don't have the sound suppression on at the moment. I just have it on my shirt. And I think we'll see how it sounds. I mean, it's still going to be good. You can hear me no matter where I'm at. And I don't have to talk real loud, so that's a good thing. Because I'm sure my neighbors get tired of me. They look over here and they're like, what is that guy doing? Well, I'm making some content. Hoping I can help somebody. And I hope y'all can learn a little something along the way that inspire you. And if you're just watching this because you're curious about the truck and you're thinking about buying it, not that it's for sale, but at some point it'll be for sale, I'm sure. And this will show you at least what I've done. And you know whether it's something you ought to do or not. You can do this too. You can do a lot in your open garage. You just look at all that we've done right here, all that I've done with a little bit of help from my family, and you can do the same stuff. So I encourage you to do that. Second coat going on. All right, I told you I would get you in here and show you afterwards. So that's what it looks like up close. And then this side, it's a pretty big one on that spot. And one more right there. But, like I said, from a distance, you can't hardly even see that. Not really paying much attention to this one either. And I'll back off so you see that one. You see it? But when I back off, it just kind of blends in. I did want to show you where I had some of these scratches. You see how I just painted over it? And I did it on this side as well. I got these bigger scratches. And then I just went back over it with the steel wool. And so I'm going to show you that's what I was doing. If I can get my camera to behave. So you got that one there. So I'm just going to, just lightly. And then I have one right here. just kind of go around the outside. That one's a little bit bigger, kind of a war spot. So I'm just going around the outside, just like that. Doesn't look near as bad. And I think that's all my spots. Oh, got one right here. See? Couldn't even see it. So let me daub over that. Just like that. And I think that'll look pretty decent once it's all together and on the truck and everything. Appreciate you guys checking in with me. You know, been doing the content for a little while, but it's good to know that I still have some that are watching. Got new people that are watching every week, and encourage you to subscribe. Check out my other stuff, and you know, tell me what you would do different. I'd love to hear. Tell me what you think. See you.